Welcome to Movie World, the place where we only talk movies. I'm Andy Signor, and I'm here to review Ryan Reynolds in Free Guy, directed by Shawn Levy. This was a film I was really looking forward to. I liked the trailers. I thought it was a cool concept. Yes, we've seen this sort of video game character come alive, Wreck-It Ralph, etc., done before. But I thought with Ryan Reynolds at the helm, this could be a really fun potential franchise. So I went in very happy, very excited, wanting to really just enjoy this. The film was hyped by a lot of critics and a lot of people I'd seen, like, oh my gosh, I had so much fun. It's so great. At the end of the day, as I watched the film, I have to say, I wasn't disappointed. I did like the film. The film works. The film's a lot of fun. I do think the film has slightly been overhyped by some, and I'd be careful. The film is plotty at times. It's a little long in times, but overall, I really had a good time with it. Yes, there are some cameos, but don't like overhype that either. I think there's just, if anything I can do for you is just settle expectations for those of you who are like really, really, really pumped about this one. And I think if you go in a little bit more lowered expectations, then you'll be surprised. Like I think a lot of maybe the critics and stuff were, now that they're gushing. Sometimes there's, you know what I'm talking about? Sometimes a film is really good, it's really great, but some critics see it early, and because they're surprised, they overshoot their review of the film. And I think that affected me a little bit because I'm like, I went in like, yeah, cool. This is gonna be, and it's like, and I left like, all right, yeah, that was good. That was good. I like that. It was fun. It wasn't just as high as I really wanted it to be, sadly, but it was good. I got to say, I'm giving this movie a thumbs up. However, the film, look, we have seen this film before. I would say it's less Wreck-It Ralph though, and way more Lego Movie. Like, he's literally the same character as Chris Pratt in the Lego Movie, this guy character. Like, hey, everybody, how's it going? Like, it's happy, positive, going through, drinking his coffee, sort of, hey, what's up, hey, Emmett. Emmett was the character in Lego Movie. But where the movie does get better is the film sort of pivots to have some more serious moments about what if you were alive in this game? Like, what does that mean? How is he alive in the game? Why is it causing that? Those questions turn the film a little bit more interesting and at times give you a couple sensitive moments, that emotional moments that I thought actually worked. I would say, yes, this film is a combination of both the Lego Movie, but also Truman Show, which is one of my favorite films, by the way. And so I think because they smartly went there a few times with sort of the idea of it, I actually enjoyed the film more than which I guess Lego Movie does that too. Let's be fair. At the end, when he's sort of realizing that, and he shows up and Will Ferrell's there as the parent. But overall, yeah. Look, I'm nitpicking a bit. Everyone I saw it with had a blast. The audience was laughing. This is definitely a crowd-pleasing film, and I think this is a film we should support because it is definitely more original. It's not based on an IP or it's anything else. Like, this is an adaptation of something. Yes, it's a homage to games like, Grand Theft Auto or even Fortnite. There's definitely, elements of that throughout the film. But overall, I feel like they took sort of popular things that are out right now, but made their own characters, their own sort of thing. And I really appreciate a big studio doing that. And Disney having faith in this film and holding on to it for so long and putting it in theaters, again, makes me want to be more positive than negative. But I wanted to get out the negatives sort of right at the gate. They're not really negatives. They're sort of mediums where, again, go a little lower in expectations, but definitely go, because I do think this film is a lot of fun. So what's the film about? I mean, it seems like but what is it really about? Well, it's a movie in a movie, if you will, right? Because it's like you got the game scenes with Ryan Reynolds, but then we get to pull out and we have another whole story going on with the developers involved in the game. And the game is, we learn, is really, the movie is really about the developers of a game they developed being stolen, allegedly, potentially, by Taika Waititi, who now runs the gaming studio. And so the movie is really about sort of the character inside the game coming to this realization while the game developers are trying to figure out, did he steal their idea? And sort of that's the premise of the movie. There's sort of two stories happening in tandem that I enjoyed both things. They do get a little plotty, as I warned you. Like, there's like a little bit more of that plot. If you're expecting just sort of fun, silly game stuff, yes, you'll get some of that, but it really sets the tone for the world. But then they leave the world to sort of justify why this is happening, what's actually going on, how this game was developed, what's behind the game. You really do get to open up the world a bit more to get more inside of it. And Taika Waititi as the software guy is hilarious. Really, really fun scene chewing role, or he's just such a douchebag running this this firm, this creative agency. And you could just tell he was having such a blast being able to do such a role like this. And we see him as a director a lot these days, and he's great in sort of his little supporting characters that he does. But you quickly realize like this dude's so funny. I mean, he's done it so long. What we do in the shadows, etc. But it's good to remember him as an actor as well as just a talented director. And they were both in, you forget, they were both in Green Lantern together too, ironically. But Taika Waititi is a standout. I really enjoyed him as fun. Lil Rel Howery, am I saying it is right? It's Lil Rel? Yeah, Lil Rel Howery. I did get that right. He's fun. I liked him in this. He gets to be a little bit more contained, but then still have some fun moments. He plays Guy's best friend in the game, a security guard, and I really enjoyed his character. And Jodie Comer is like this player in the game, trying to figure stuff out. And I won't spoil sort of things of what's going on in the world too much. Those are your sort of main characters. And then Joe Keery, these guys are the software developers at the firm, and Joe Keery from Stranger Things, a developer inside, trying to figure out what's going on with Guy is sort of what your movie and what your characters are. But the movie really happens where basically, and this happens very early, not trying to spoil anything. It's in the trailers as well. The whole premise is sort of Guy stops being a non-playable character, an NPC, I think is what they call it, and decides to take the glasses people who are the players. He decides to just at one point try the glasses on, take someone's glasses and try them on. And when he does that, opens up the world to realize, oh my God, what's going on? What is this? And that's the premise of the movie. And it's a lot of fun to watch him sort of realize things. And there's the cast and there's the director. It's fun to watch him go through the motions and sort of figure out this world. And will he play the game? Will he resist the game? All that stuff is sort of what the movie becomes. And again, the biggest comparison I could say is Lego Movie. It's Lego Movie and its elements of the Truman Show. Whereas, again, I got to be careful. I don't want to spoil things. But as, Guys doing this, you can imagine some players are noticing this. So what happens? Are people, excited or freaked out, or what's going on as they watch one of the background characters sort of take over and play a game or fight back against a game? You can imagine where that can go. So all exciting, fun ideas. And again, I think this movie was made for, I think, younger, gamer audience right now. There's a lot of cameos from, this isn't a spoiler either, but there's a lot of, I won't say who, but there's a lot of cameos from like popular, Twitch and YouTube streamers that show up at certain point throughout the movie. And I don't know who those people are. I didn't care, but I knew of them. You'll understand why they're there and they explain it. It's justified why they're there for sure. But you can tell like that's who they're trying to aim this movie at. It's definitely they're hoping a lot of those gaming streamers and people who watch that will come out, not only because they want to watch it, but they'll see the streamers there, etc. And I think, smart to know the demo. That's definitely who the demo for this movie is. I've seen some of this before, to be honest. I think they could have gone a little crazier at times. If I'm being brutally honest, there's some choices creatively. I don't want to spoil things, especially sort of later, that I think they could have doubled down on and done even bigger, which I do is my only reason why I'm not like, it's amazing. It's like, it's good. It's really good is where my feeling is. I think there's some stuff they could have done to really level this one up even more than they did. Instead of getting so hung up in some of the plot points, they still could have had those sensitive emotional beats, which I appreciated. But I think that's where I'm a little hung up when you'll see when I think you'll get it more when you see it. And when after this is out, we can have more of a spoiler talk about it, of where I think this could have been even more epic. But I think for certain audiences, this will be epic enough that this could be a lot of fun. And yeah, I support this film. I give it a positive review because I do think we need to support more movies like this, that even though it's sort of borrowing, elements of the gamers and Fortnite-y feels, it's still something new. This is not something based on a video game, an actual video game, or a comic book. Like they're trying to do something different here, and we got to applaud that, especially when a major studio and Disney supports it. Personally, that's my opinion. So bravo to the team for that. Overall, it is a lot of fun. There are some fun surprises, so stay tuned, watch it. And I'm curious what you guys think. Are you pumped for this? Are they marketing this film enough? Because a lot of people are out there complaining, and they're like, oh, this weekend's box office will be very telling because they're not streaming this one. They're deciding to go fully theatrical, and I applaud it because I think that is a wise move. We should not lose theatrical windowing. Like, just because it's not on streaming this weekend for you to watch immediately doesn't mean you're not going to get excited and watch it in a month or two when it is available on streaming. If you didn't want to go to theaters, if you don't feel comfortable going to theaters, fine. But let the studio try to make some more money. Let people who are comfortable going with their masks, whatever, let them go see the movie. Let's try and get the movie some money so the studios will keep making movies like this. And then you can go watch it on streaming when it's out on streaming. That's how windowing works. And I think windowing was a smart thing. Get revenue multiple ways, and you can join the train whenever it hits a platform or, DVD or whatever you want that you can actually watch it on. I don't know why we're fighting about this. So many people, and I looked at even the comments in Deadline of how it needs to make this, and oh my God, what a stupid decision to release this theatrically. I'm like, why? What? And this is the kind of if all the good movies are sold out, this one seems like great for the remaining drive-ins. Yeah, there's like a weird buzz level on this film. This was not a smart move. I would much rather pay for it on a streaming service. You're already paying for the streaming service, Drew. You mean you much rather? You're not going to pay for another. BS, you would have paid for another streaming service for this. You already have streaming services, and if it was on one of them, maybe you would have watched it. Now, it doesn't sound like you would have gone to the theater anyway, but a lot of people will. So I don't understand this debate. I think it's a stupid debate. I'm glad and good for them. I support them. This isn't about, no, you're not taking things seriously. No, it's like that's what choice is. If you don't feel safe, don't go. But a lot of people want to go out safely. They do want to go out safely to see this, and I do not want to see the theatrical experience die. There's no reason we can't have this out for a month and then have it streaming for a month. And if you want to wait till then, wait till then. That's why we're not spoiling things. What do you think of all this? Are you excited? Were you excited? Was there buzz? Is there enough buzz for this movie? Were you pumped for this? Tell me all your thoughts down below. As you're doing that, also, please hit that subscribe button here to Movie World, the bell for all alerts. Smash that like button, and tell me again your thoughts on the film. And have you heard enough about it? Do you feel like they're spending enough marketing dollars on this to get the word out there? Let me know what you think. Thank you so much for watching here on Movie World. Check out my Respect review. That was a good one. You guys should check that out this weekend as well. And stay tuned for more here on Movie World. Thanks, everybody.